Indigo Twin here with your up and coming weekly reading for the week beginning the 24th of October. I hope we're all well, and it's been an interesting week. Speaking to a lot of people, there's sort of been a few ups and downs in regards to the unions and reunions and I get a sense that some have actually almost at the point where they just want to give up. But I'm saying, don't give up, because we're so close. You're so close. I mean, all the work that we've done in, say, the last few months, the last 6 months, last 12 months, it's been well and truly worth it, because at the end of the day, we're looking at mission. We're not just looking at being in a relationship, because this journey is not all about that. We know that. So we signed up for something bigger than this, bigger than that. So, sort of coming into, it's interesting, the cards today, they're quite different. And a lot of cards have come up today that haven't been around for a while. So it's good news. We've got no elemental cards this week. So no fire, water, earth, air. So we're really sort of getting into, from what I'm seeing here, there's a lot of goddess energy around. A lot of goddess energy, a lot of masculine energy. So there seems to be a bit of a balance of both. Now, this card, the Buckle of Isis, which has come up a lot in the masculine, as I was shuffling the cards and praying over the cards, this just flew out. So I've popped it here just to sort of remind us that, really what this journey is all about. And I mean, that signifies it, definitely, because we're looking at the growth, the fertility, the birth, the growth with sacrifice. I mean, yeah, in a way, I mean, there is a sacrifice, because we're not looking at any ordinary union here. So we're not looking at the normal sort of what we've grown to know, the fairy tale ending, the, white wedding on the beach, with the hair blowing and the white dress flowing and all that sort of thing. This is not what this is all about. So look, and it's not to say if that's what people want, if that's what anyone listening today wants, then that's great. Go for it. You have my blessings. You have the blessings from other realms. It's your free will. It's your choice. But if we, like myself, if we've embarked on a twin flame journey, we know there's a lot more riding on this. There's a lot more to do. There's a lot of healing to do, not just for ourselves, but for the world, and sort of reaching out. And it's been a pretty tumultuous week. I know down here in Australia, there's been some really shocking, horrifying things that have happened. And so that's actually has been a lot of sad collective energy here. So, which, being empathic, it's sort of something that's really sort of come up within myself and others around me. But other than that, there's things going on at the US political, but we won't go into all that stuff. So that's just, we'll let that one go. So we'll get along with the reading. So just a reminder here, of course, the Buckle of Isis, talking about the emotions and trying to understand and figure out how to bring things into the day of light. Okay? We're still, what can we sacrifice materially to come into divine union? That's what this card is all about. And that's why it jumped out, just to remind us, just to keep going. Now, I've got the cards, and of course we've got down here on the far side here is the masculine, the union, and the feminine here. So whatever you relate to, and obviously we know that, feminine can be, females can be more masculine, males can be more feminine. So whatever you relate to most. And also I'd like to say thank you for all your lovely comments. It's been quite a busy week, and I do apologise if I haven't responded. I always try to, as much as I can. But, the fact that I'm doing this and helping everyone who listens in whatever way is just a blessing to me, and that's why I'm here. So let's go, without further ado, as they say, let's go into the cards. Now, Masculines. Interesting masculine cards happening here. Now, we've got the card Thoth here. Now, as you can see, just bring that a bit closer. Okay, so the Thoth is, of course, the catechist. So the Thoth, and we would see that on, medical symbols and things like that. So Thoth is the Lord of Time, the keeper of the Akashic records and the scribe to the gods and the patron of healers. So, okay, so we know last week we had the masculine going through a lot of healing. So it's still going on, okay? We're still going on. Now, this card signifies, what this card is saying to me about the masculine is they're going deeper. Now, being that he's the keeper of the Akashic records, this is where the masculine are going right now. They're going through, they're digging up, they're in the trenches, they're digging up through the past lives, through the past life experiences, and really working through those issues. So that's a very significant point that they're at right now, the masculines. So there's not a lot more that I can really say about it, other than that it's a healing of the soul, and it does represent twin union. So being also the keeper of Akashic records, this card is the twin union. It's about the Kundalini, the Kundalini awakening, balancing that Kundalini energy. So the masculine, I feel, will be doing a lot of that in this up and coming week. A lot of sort of more deeper healing. So last week it was more sort of on the surface type healing, but this week it's more deep. It's deep, deep healing. So be gentle on the masculines this week, feminines, because they are really working through these issues. And interestingly enough, what I see coming up next is the Bast card. Now, I don't think we've had the Bast card. Oh, it's been a long time, that's for sure. Now, Bast is great. The Bast card is a sistrum. So what you see there is a sistrum. Bast is the twin sister of Horus, interestingly enough. So Horus being the healer. It's also, Bast is the goddess of joy and the patroness of cats. So we know with cats, we tread carefully. It's about intuition, caution, protection, devotion, mental healing, generosity, gracefulness, joy, and happiness all come under the Bast. So we're looking about, with the Bast, we're looking about the healing energies within the mind. So mostly applicable to the mind. And so it says it's a happy card. So what they're saying is that pressing worries and turmoil will soon pass, which will give way to joy and happiness. Also, it talks about intuition, so balancing the state of mind. So very, very, very strongly related to the Thoth card here about the healing and sort of really going deep. So, I mean, this Bast, the sistrum, I'm not sure if, in case anyone doesn't know what a sistrum is, it's an ancient musical instrument and it's shaped like the Ankh. So you remember the Ankh. So it's got a similar shape to the Ankh, but it has 4 bars across the middle there. Now, each of those 4 bars represents all the elements. So the elements did sneak in. The earth, wind, fire, water, they've snuck in there. They've snuck in there because that's what's going on now. So it's gathering in all the energies, all the elements, and really working through them and really looking at maintaining a balance in order to come to a state of joy and happiness. So lots of deep healing energies still happening there. Now moving on, we get to the pyramid. So the pyramid is card number 23. So it's actually interesting because we've got card number 5, card number 4, and card number 23, which is a 5. So 545. So we are looking at, a lot of sort of, they're suggesting like rebirth and things like that. So the pyramid of course, is a symbol of evolution of the soul through time. Oh my gosh, it just gets better and better. Lots of soul work here. Lots of deep, deep, deep soul work going on with the masculine this week. So it's about initiation. It's timelessness. It's preservation of time. So the pyramid is what it does is it preserves the preservation of time. So what we're looking at is in association with looking at past life issues, working through those past life issues in order to come to something of greater good. Then we sort of take all those inner, more 5D higher, what's the word I'm trying to say? Higher energies, and sort of looking at how we can integrate those higher energies and what we can let go of materially in order to come into these higher energies. So overall, quite good, quite good. I mean, look, out of that, communication. If communication, I feel, would be more on a soul, spiritual level. So what I suggest for the feminines relating to the masculines, and what I'm actually, no, they're saying no, go to the feminine, because the union in the middle actually relates to that. So I do apologize. I've been asked to actually go straight to the feminine. So let's go to the feminine here. Now this card, I love this card. This card is fantastic. It's the winged disc. It's a beautiful symbolic card. It's actually a card 19, which of course 1 and 9 is card number 10, interestingly enough. 5 up here, 10 here. So what we're seeing, what the winged disc is, the winged disc is, it's the sun, it's the sun in the middle. So the sun or the solar disc in the middle, which is actually flanked by 2 ornamental wings. Okay, so I don't know if we can see that. So it's flanked by 2 ornamental wings. And what that signifies is the emblem of flight, of the spirit to higher realms. Well, what do you know? Okay, so higher realms, Akashic records. Okay, already I'm seeing, and even before I started recording, I could see where this was going, and I'm being guided to sort of take things as it goes, and I'll do an overall there. But we, as the feminine energies, are being guided divinely towards achievement and being inspired to work towards that. Now, wise guidance is also implied here, and the expression of deeper joy that's gained from the revelation of true knowledge. All around, it's good news. It's actually great news. There's a lot of success around it. So it means that we are doing the work. There is success around that work. Now, I would say, really go into your hearts this week. Go into your hearts, deep into your soul, and connect on the 5D. Let go of the 3D this week. Okay, let go. That's what I'm being told to tell you. Let go of the 3D. Moving on. Nethys. Now, we've had Nethys. It also has been a while since we've had Nethys. Nethys is card number 7. So, okay. Card number 7 here, we have the chalice. So we've got the sacred chalice. Now, Nethys, of course, was the sister of Isis. She was also the wife of Set, and thank goodness we've gone past the Set energies. However, when Set did destroy Osiris, Nethys actually sided with her sister Isis, and we do have Isis here as well. So we've got the 2 sisters here. Nethys talks about hidden. So she's the hidden one. It's almost like She's a revealer. Now, she is also the mother of Anubis, and Anubis being the protector. So she's the one about revealing things, okay? So Nephthys talks about, she's very, there's a lot of mysticism around her, receptivity, there's psychic gifts and tranquility, but there is also some reservedness around this. So I'm getting that the feminine are actually quite happy to step back and allow the masculine to go through what they need to go through. Being that this is the card also of sisterhood, it's also telling, it's deeply spiritual. So a lot can be gained from the divine sisterhood. So in other words, whether you have someone who understands your journey, be it a spiritual healer, someone else who does readings or things like that. Oh, pardon me. Work with the sisterhood. Work with the collective sisterhood. This is what this card is telling me. Work with the collective sisterhood rather than focus on the masculine. Work within the divine sisterhood. Because at the moment, things are hidden. It's a very, very deeply spiritual card, and it does work towards lifting the conscious mind above worldly stress into more peace. Okay, so the world is calling upon us, the feminine energies, to join together towards worldly peace. That's what we've been asked to do. So, yes. So connect to the female in your lives. Let go, forgive any females in your life. Really sort of come into a place of peace. Really come, but it's got a lot of feminine energies around it. So be it that you've had quarrels with, people who you're close to, sisters, mothers, grandmothers, anyone like that, daughters, mothers, daughters. It's a time for forgiveness. It's a time for being at peace. It's a time for being and coming into your true self. And that may mean that other people may not like that, but that is not for them to decide. It is your life. It is your spiritual journey. You choose that spiritual journey as you see fit. If there are people in your life who don't see it the way you do, then it's time to make peace with them. Tell them you love them, whether it's face-to-face or on a spiritual level. Forgive them, let go, move on, continue your journey. Do not be dissuaded by anyone. So it's kind of like a double-edged sword there. Okay, we're talking about connecting with the sisterhood, but at the same time, we're actually looking at forgiving that as well. So I'm sure that will resonate with many people listening, but that's yours to sort of work on from there. Now moving on, talking about masculine energies, here we've got, the patron. We've got the masculine Osiris himself, okay, where we've got the goddess Bast over here. We have Osiris himself, connect to the divine. This is what this card is saying for the feminines. Connect directly to source. Directly to source. Osiris is the wise one. He's the Lord of light, the highest of spirits. Wisdom. There's justice and integrity amongst those. Stability, respect. Okay? The wise spiritual father. Okay, that's what Osiris represents. Okay, the energies are good energies. They're gentle but firm. And that kind of relates to this. This is saying that you have your power, masculine power, that you balance with your feminine energies to heal whatever situations are going on here. Remember, it's got nothing to do with the masculine, but it will help to sort of get through these energies. It is a spiritual, and in turn, it will be very spiritually uplifting. So it's a time of letting go. Yes, as I said, lots of goddess energy around here. Here we have Bast. okay? The goddess of joy. Neithis, I mean, you know, the sister of Isis. We've got Isis down here herself. And then, of course, we have Hathor. And she's the goddess of beauty. I mean, the goddess of beauty and joy. You know, the patroness of magic, you know, like, I mean, there's a lot of nice, gentle energy, which is really, really good. However, what we've got, even though we have Hathor, which is feminine goddess energy, Isis, feminine goddess energy, we've actually got Ptah in the middle, which is a very masculine card. Okay, the Ptah is actually the patron of men. Now, I'm going to come back to Ptah because I'd probably like to go into depth of what that means, but I'm going to focus first on the feminine energy surrounding the patron of men, the masculine energy here. So Hathor. Hathor is the mirror. She's the goddess of beauty, love and strength, and the patroness of women. So here we have the patroness of women and the patron of men. What can I say? And then down here we have both Isis and Osiris, you know, the twins. So, Hathor. Hathor, so she represents fortitude and nourishment. Femininity comes under Hathor. Organization, confidence, also astrology. So again, what I'm seeing is we're looking at, you know, towards spiritual realms. Okay, looking up into the skies, the night skies. Now, down, of course, in the southern hemisphere, we're coming into summer. In fact, today I've got no sleeves on, which means this is probably one of the first days second day that we've had that's actually warm. So, so we're getting a lot of clear night skies, and of course, wherever you are in the world, go outside, look into the stars. Look into the stars. Whatever you find up there, okay? So Hathor does also represent, as I said, astrology. Okay, so looking into the stars, say prayers, pray to the stars, pray to the Cyrus is up there. You know, look at the things. You know, we've got interesting energies coming along. We do have a new moon coming up in Scorpio next weekend. That's, you know, and that's not too bad energies, considering most of our new moons and full moons have been full of really heavy energies. This one looks to be a lot lighter. So that's something to look forward to. But that's next weekend. That's the end of all this. This is after we've done all the work. Okay, now I'm going to move down to Isis. Now, I know Isis has come up in a lot of readings since I've been doing this channel. Of course, Isis, she represents the throne. Okay, this is a throne. That's the symbol represented here. She's the patroness of magic. She's the mother of Horus and Bast, of course. And she's about physical healing, bringing about courage, harmony and heroism, artistry, beauty, creativity, all things about family. So she's quite significant. So she's really, you know, with this masculine energy about the union, we have a really, really nice, beautiful balance of feminine energies. Now, that I am seeing that is like, you know, you can look at it in both ways. This is very, very prominent for both feminine and masculine. It's almost like, now, Hathor is the mirror. What one does over here, it reflects to one over here. What one does here reflects over there. Okay, so we need to keep into those higher vibrational energies, go into this part of forgiveness and letting go and coming into our higher selves as the masculine are doing, and then we reflect it back to each other. Isis is all about the possible made possible. She's there. She is our help from beyond. Release all your fears to Isis. Turn to her in times of need. If you feel yourself wavering, from connecting with these energies here, then call upon Isis. She will be there for you. She will definitely be there for you if you call upon her. Now, let's go back to the Ptah, the patron of men. Ptah, the patron of men, represents, well, you know the symbol. Everybody's seen the symbol here, okay? They're the Masons' tools. Okay. What did the Masons do? They were stonemasons. What did we use stone for? To build. So Ptah is the architect of the universe. There's higher energies around Ptah. There is masculinity, but there's also craftsmanship, inventiveness, dexterity around him. There's also a level of ingenuity. So everything around here about building. So with the Ptah card, we're looking at, so as souls in this life, we are going, it's an evolutionary journey back to source. This is what our mission is. Okay, so what happens along this journey? The soul advances through many experiences. They're our life's lessons. So each lesson that is learnt shapes our true characters and our identities. Okay, Ptah represents the bricks in our spiritual foundation. It is the constructing and building of our temple, growing with life's lessons. Our temple being our union. That's our temple. This is what this card signifies. It's a temple. It's our mission. So overall, it's a magnificent reading. So I'll just pull up the card that's come up from the next one. Oh, of course. Card number 11, fire. And fire's actually come up a lot. What have we got there? The phoenix rising from the ashes. Okay, funny enough. Okay, so we don't have Horus, but this, of course, is one of Horus's sons. So we're burning away. There's a lot of energy there. Creative gifts are there. Okay, we're burning bridges for better, burning up the rubbish and moving into new situations. Look, this reading is great. It's a really good reading. Yes, it is not saying, yep, okay. And look, even as a spiritual advisor, which is, essentially what I am, it's the journey. So, I can't stress that enough. It's all about the journey. It's all about where we are going. Okay, be patient. Be patient, be kind, be gentle to yourselves. Okay, really work on that high spiritual level in the 5D. This is what strongly keeps coming up to me. Work in the 5D. That's the strong message that I get here. Now, I'm just going to grab the book, the Cartouche one, because I want to... Now, I know I've read a few of basically the symbolisms around these, and something tells me... Now, I almost feel like I want to sort of pop my finger into the book and go, which one would you like me to read about? I've read the mirror. Okay, I've opened up on the mirror. So let's look at what the mirror of Hathor is. The mirror of Hathor is a variation of the magical shield, such as the one that the Greek goddess Athene gave to Perseus to help him slay the Gorgon. Its energies are therefore reflective and act in two ways: by showing the viewer his or her own true image, and as a shield in which the face of adversary can be seen without direct visual confrontation. Magically, the Hatha mirror contains the energies of the user on the one hand and reflects back impinging external vibes of an undesirable nature on the other. Okay, so Hatha, as the Egyptians called her, was the daughter of Ra and the carrier of his divine eye. Hatha was a dual aspect goddess. As a gentle celestial cow, she was said to nourish the gods, protect women, patronize the art of astrology, and confer the creature comforts of life. As the Lady of the Sycamore, she was considered to be the Egyptian Aphrodite, in which role she presided over all aspects of women's beauty, such as makeup, adornment, jewelry, and clothing. But according to some authorities, Hatha has another side. Sekhmet, the lioness-headed goddess. The story goes that the old god Ra, reigned peacefully over all creation before the other gods were born. While he was still young and strong, all paid obeisance to him. But as age slowly descended upon him, a group of dissenters moved to take advantage of his waning strength. We are not told who these beings were or whence they hailed. However, the inference drawn is that they were not necessarily connected with this earth as we know it, but were more like players in some grand cosmological drama. Ra was so enraged at his uprising that he hurled his divine eye, a symbol of great power, at the revolutionaries in the form of his daughter, the goddess Sekhmet, who went among the evil ones dispensing havoc and bloodshed until Ra finally called her off, fearing that she might overdo things and polish off his handiwork completely. The ingratitude of the beings he had created gave Ra a distaste for the world, so he withdrew to heaven, at which time our present earth was created. The Ra legend evokes many interesting theories, but for the purpose of Cartouche, we must leave the old god at this point and return to his daughter Hatha or Sekhmet. Hatha does not appear in the Osiris story until later in the proceedings, after Horus has conquered Set. She then becomes Horus's wife, and they live happily ever after. But it is not clear whether it is Hatha or as Sekhmet that she assumes the nuptial role, since Sekhmet was also revered in ancient Egypt as a wife of Tut and the mother of the healing deity, Imhotep, the three together forming the famous Memphis triad, which, of course, is there. The Taka. The confusion between the Sekhmet, Bast, Hatha deities has already been discussed from a historical viewpoint, which leaves the occultists to sort it all out at a practical level. So it's obviously, we're talking about mythological things here, but, they relate. I mean, there is this correlation between these three characters here, and then of course Horus, which we've had a lot of. So I was drawn to do that. So being, we've got Hatha and Sekhmet. So we've got two sides. I mean, Gemini, if you like. Okay. So when we look at there are two different personalities. So this is saying, as far as the union goes, we are 5D. We are 3D. We are working in the 5D to bring down to the 3D and vice versa. Okay, so it is this overflowing. Now, remember, the mirror. What you do goes to them and vice versa. Okay, now if there are any harsh energies that come towards you, you reflect them back with love and compassion. Okay, all right, so that I would say is probably one of the better readings that we've had in the last few weeks. So it is good to see. It is really, really good to see. Now I'm just going to shuffle the Alana Fairchild Isis Oracle to give us our ritual healing for this up and coming week. So let's just see. Who knows? We may get something of these characters coming out in this ritual healing this week. So I'm going to call upon the goddess Isis, who loves us unconditionally, and wow, interesting, very interesting card that just shot out is the Brother in Darkness, overcoming negative energy with feminine power. I don't know if you can really see that. So have a look. That is actually quite a good card to come up. Being that we had so much goddess energy around here, we've now got the brother in darkness, but through that we're overcoming negative energy with feminine power. So that is a very good sign indeed. So let's find, and I will read through the book as I normally do. So let's move into a place of peace and tranquility whilst I go through the reading. Whenever negative energy is present, it is a sign that we are ready to move more deeply into our feminine divine power. Okay. The brother in darkness indicates that there is negative energy either within you or outside of you, but directed towards you, that is providing you with a spiritual test, beloved initiate. You shall overcome this energy with grace and triumph. Stay in your heart. There is no need to be afraid. There is a test that you are currently moving through. Okay, and that is what Neith's card was all about, that which is yet to be revealed. Okay, so you're moving through because you are ready to progress more deeply into wisdom, light, acceptance, and inner peace. The test is in the guise of a negative energy source, either within you or apparently outside of you. In truth, we are all one, and the world is our mirror for whatever healing task lies within. Even though sometimes the source of difficulty appears to be external, rather than an opportunity for us to gain mastery with our own responses through inner healing. Guidance comes to you now in this oracle to become more conscious of the negative energies either within or directed towards you, without being fearful. There is no need for fear. There is just need for more conscious, loving response. In the story of Isis, the destructive emotions of her dark brother Set led to the murder of her beloved Osiris. He did not stop there. He also attempted to destroy her beloved son-child and deny him his rightful rulership. Set teaches us that destructive emotions, interesting enough that this has come up this week, considering the last 2 weeks we actually had the Set card. So this is really sort of coming off the back of last week, coming into this week. So we're still in those energies, mind you. So I think it's really important that coming to the beginning of the week that we go into this. Set teaches us that destructive emotions can gain awful power. If we leave them unchecked or do not consciously respond to them, Isis teaches us that love, faith, persistence, courage, intelligent and honest awareness can overcome even the darkest power. Now, of course, in that card we do have Isis here, and we do have Set sitting there. Okay, so he's not gone yet. Okay, he's still hanging around, so we still need to work on those energies. So overcoming this will require your feminine strength. And so it is that we have so much feminine strength here. 1, 2, 3, 4. Interestingly enough, look at that. Look at the formation. Around the patron of men, we have 4 prominent feminine energies around there. Isn't that amazing? Okay, sorry, I'm just getting... I just keep coming up with more and more. Okay, so... compassion is great strength. It sees the truth, and of course compassion comes up. It knows that a wolf can cause harm even if it is dressed as a sheep. You are guided to be attentive and honest about negative influences. Again, when we were talking about forgiveness, within or directed towards you without judging them or their source or paying undue attention with fear. You simply need recognition and then to respond with compassion and clear, loving, firm boundary. This boundary will very often be an internal shift energetically for you. It may not require any further action than this. And of course, the buckle of Isis, again, another feminine energy. So part of your spiritual path is to honor the darkness as a way through to greater consciousness. to not fight against darker and potentially destructive emotions with force, but to allow them to be with compassion instantly removes the resistance that creates psychic glue and causes darker energies to get stuck within us. Trust your feminine values, whether man or woman, and don't believe for one moment that you are obliged to wear another's negativity for them. You are not. You may stand true in your purity of heart and be safe. If you do have negative energy rising within you, the same stands true. Have compassion and witness it, but don't believe that you have to identify with it. Now, what did we have identity before? It is not you. It is just energy and feeling. Let it flow and it shall go. So the following ritual will assist with releasing negative energies through feminine power. May you enjoy your growing mastery with such energies from a place of compassion, humility, and service to the light in all beings. It is helpful to light a tea light or a candle to help you come back to the innate light in all beings, no matter how positive or negative they may appear to be. Whilst doing this ritual, light your candle and be comfortable as you proceed with the process. Allow yourself to sit in a darkened space, simply lit with a candle, and close your eyes as you become comfortable, settled, and focused on your breathing. Breathe in and out, in and out, in and out. Feel the breath as you go deep into your heart. Imagine or perceive that within your heart there is a golden winged goddess, bathed in glorious light, with her wings outstretched. A soft but endless stream of love flows from her to you now. It is not forceful, and yet it is powerful. It just is. Allow yourself to become comfortable in this love, feeling it around you like a blanket of peace. Allow her to sing to you now, to send you her love through the sound and light within her voice, and through the light coming from her hands, eyes and feet. Know that you are completely and utterly held within her divine love. Feel it growing around you like a force field, beautiful and peaceful. You now become aware of an energy hovering around the field of this divine love, holding back from entering it, but curious and attracted to it. Acknowledge the presence of this other energy whilst remaining centered in your heart and in the field of divine love all around you. Silently or out loud, communicate to the energy you sense as you hover near the field of love, not yet willing to enter into it. Tell the energy that it does not have to be afraid, that it will not be judged, and it would not be despised or criticized. It can just be. Staying in your heart, in this field of love, you may see, sense, or perceive the energy outside of your love field. Assume a shape or image. It might be a face, a word, the form of a dagger or a spear or a noose, or it may assume the form of a feeling, perhaps anger, fear, shame, guilt, sadness, or even sexual desire, or an urge to be devoted, to love, to be touched or held, or to touch and hold. It may be great fear or hatred of you. You can safely stay calm in your heart and just witness it. There may be threats or great sadness and vulnerability. Do not leave the center of your loving field. Stay there and feel the love all around you and within you. Be in kindness in your heart. If this energy that has not known love is willing, it will enter the field around you and be healed. But it must make the choice for itself. Allow that energy to come as deep into the space of love as it can. by continuing to stay in your heart and being in touch with the peace and kindness that exists there. When you are ready, say, "It is my choice as a sovereign being of divine love that any energy not aligned with unconditional love now leave my body, mind, and energy field. It no longer has a place here with me, and I release it with unconditional love now. Either that it may return to divine love now or to the body of the earth. As it is so chooses, but it may not stay here. I revoke any permission I have ever given for it to be attached to me. Consciously or unconsciously. And with love, I let it go. Be free and go in peace. Now breathe in deeply and exhale deeply. When you are ready, say, "So be it," and open your eyes. Try not to come in out of your space immediately. Even with your eyes open, be aware of the field of love around you. Even as you bring your awareness into your physical world once more, let the love be with you now, even as you move your body and return to daily life. You can also say the following incantation to clear any negative energy at the beginning of the ritual above, or at any time you feel the pulling of fear, doubt, shame, anger, hate, guilt, terror, or despair within you or around you. Go into your heart and speak it clearly. Brother in darkness, you are loved. Loved fiercely and with compassion. There is nothing to fear or judge or resist, just acceptance, allowance, and being seen. From the light in my heart now, I see you. I do not judge, my response is compassion. I understand and I release you now. Be and flow, but from my energy field you must now go. Without will or force, but through love and peace. All negativity from my field is now released. Now that was just perfect. That summed up this whole reading to an absolute T. I mean, we've got really good energies happening here, releasing negativity. I mean, the fact that the winged disc came up in that, the goddesses came up, the feminine, the masculine, everything came up there. It is just, it just highlights what is going on. So this week, and leading up to the new moon, I strongly get, and the message that comes through clearly, heal, love, compassion, initiation, forgiveness. And that is the reading for the up and coming week. Blessings to you all. Have an amazing week. Have a wonderfully healing week. Stay true to yourself. Stay true to your mission. Love yourself unconditionally, most of all. And on that note, I will see you next week for our reading for next week, and we should almost be going into next month, and just on the heels of the new moon in Scorpio, so it'll be a very interesting reading.